Yay Networks.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the Fitish podcast. We'll save you any mascara alert for today. We didn't give a mascara alert on the, on the previous show.
No way.
Yeah, or 2 shows ago, I suppose, when we were telling all the drama with Remy. We just were coming out of the gate and telling y'all. So thank you for all of the nice messages. Have you been getting nice messages from people?
People hate me.
Not true. Oh my God, pity party. Y'all have been super nice and supportive, and really also this has happened, something similar, or those febrile seizures and things like that have happened. I do not believe that's what it was. He didn't have a fever, but those are so scary. You hear about that happening quite a bit. Your baby's fever like spikes. It can increase so rapidly with a baby. That takes a lot to digest as a first-time parent, that your baby, that it gets okay when they have 103 or 4, which is wild. But anyway, it's happened to a lot of people. Went to the neurologist, which we did. If you missed 2 episodes ago, we had to call 911 because Remy was, I don't know what was happening, but something not normal. He was restarting like a computer, and it was, not involuntary, and it freaked us out.
The thing is that something I realized is that he was hitting like a software update to grow like 3 inches.
Yeah, that's also what's happening. He's like in a 3T now, and he's 2, just turned 2. I know that's not totally abnormal, but people are always shocked when they go, how old is he? He's 2, and I always said once he turned 2, I wasn't going to go. He's 26 months. He's aged out at 26 months.
You don't want people to have to pull out their calculator to know your kid's age.
I think it's knowing your audience, right? Us talking to you, other parents. When you have kids that are the same age, you want to know kind of exactly where they're at developmentally, or talking to the doctor. Totally get it. But when a stranger's like, oh, he's cute. How old is he? Is he 2?
He's 100,000 minutes.
He's 2. He's 2.5. But so anyway, all is good. We went to the neurologist, and that was great that we were able to get in.
Great neurologist.
She was awesome. And so we were really happy with all of that, and everything's okay. And she said that this happened, weird things happen a lot with kids. And I mean, I hate to say the word just weird, because it's probably more than that, but parenting, man, it's a lot. So hopefully, fingers crossed, or whatever you want to say, that nothing, that we don't see it again. And if we do, then we'll, obviously get some more testing done and things like that. But he's been okay since then, aside from growing and not eating some days at all, and then eating a lot some days, and then pooping a lot some days. And you're like, what? You found poop in the shower this morning?
Yes.
Yeah. That was a nice surprise. I shower with him every night, but I didn't know.
Thank you for that type of surprise, babe.
I didn't know. Sometimes he doesn't want to get out, and I turn all the water off, and I get out, and dry myself off and get dressed. And then I get a towel and I get him out because he's in there playing with his toys. So I didn't know that he had pooped. I mean, you pulled him out of the shower yesterday, right? But I mean, he must have just squatted down and pooped somewhere. So just little nice poop surprise. And we haven't even started potty training yet. So can't wait for that.
Yeah. I think he's almost ready. Not there yet.
Yeah. I don't want to spend the show talking about potty training and pooping and stuff, but...
You brought it up.
No, baby, I know. I was just letting everyone know that's not like what we're talking about
we're
on the show today.
To talk?
No, I know. No one said I didn't bring it up. I know I brought it up. I was just saying we're not going to spend the show talking about pooping and potty training. So, because I feel like we go through these things as parents that just as you get them to sleep through the night, it's like big boy bedtime, or potty training time. Just when things start to get kind of like accustomed to a routine.
I don't think comfort is the name of the parenting game.
Mm-mm.
Once you start feeling a little comfortable with the role, life sends you a curveball, and I like it. It keeps you on your toes.
I like curveballs that don't entail emergency services.
Oh, no.
But yeah,
100%.
curveballs. So I'm sure we're about to have a lot of that.
Developmental curveballs.
I am currently monitoring my vehicle, my new to me but used Bronco with the camera, my security camera at the office, after last week's attempted theft. Now I'm scared and I didn't want to park it in the garage here because it's a lot. Like I have to come in and open the garage, then pull the car in. And when I'm by myself, it's just a lot of work and I'm not going to be here that long. So I just thought I'm just going to put the camera on it. If I see someone, I haven't thought through. We can talk about
Yeah. That's exactly what I wanted to ask. Like,
I'm going to run out like a crazy person and be like, I fucking dare you.
Boom, boom.
No, I don't carry a gun.
No. I'm saying the thief is going to do that to you.
Oh, they're going to shoot me?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's something to look forward to, I guess.
Well, I think you should just let it go.
Let it go?
Let it go.
I don't know. We'll see how I feel if this moment during the podcast presents itself.
We'll stay with you.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up that messaging because we have been talking a lot about this move and this life change. And obviously, I think we go through different moments every day and we have some major news about the move and about what's been going on. But little things, right? When we've talked about, what led you to this decision? And so there was a school, for instance, that, trying to enroll your child in a school. And there's this school that I've had siblings attend, and Fran and you had friends with kids that went there. So we were pretty certain, like, this is what we want to do. We heard that, when you have family members that have attended there, you kind of have, a better chance of getting in. We've been in communication with them since Remy was like born. And so we figured no big deal. He'll get in. They do this rolling admission. And so we've kind of done everything by the book, so we thought. And it was like the one school we still hadn't heard back from, that he was waitlisted and he had to get in before the end of the school year, or because of his age, he couldn't go until 2025. It's a whole weird Montessori thing, I guess. But we love the school. We've always raved about the school to other people, and they just never let us know if he got in or not. And so I wrote them the other day and was like, hey, granted, we're moving now, mainly because of that annoying bullshit anyway. Like trying to get into schools, they make it so difficult for first-time parents. No one tells a first-time parent you literally need to apply to schools when your kid's like being cut from your womb. And you just don't know what you don't know. Or before, like you even have a birth date, you have to get on a list. And so, so if you are pregnant, maybe not the same in smaller towns or depending on where you want, but from what I've heard from most women in Dallas, at least, it's a real racket. It's really tough. And so I wrote them, is it protocol to just like not let a family know if they don't get in? All the other schools had kind of told us yes or no by now. And they just wrote back like, oh yeah, sorry. No, unfortunately, no, there was no room. Like,
try again later.
Yeah, like try for 2025, which makes me think that they just personally didn't like us or something happened, because that's a very unprofessional.
What do you think people wouldn't like you?
I think that schools like that vet out social media, and I think my social media
too risque?
No, I don't think I'm too risque, but I mean, look at my line of work. I mean, to a school like that, what if they think,
a little bit of a drug dealer?
She's in a... she makes CBD, or or we have this podcast and they swear on the podcast. I don't know. Yeah, maybe we're being judged for social media presence or something like that. I'm not sure. I mean, I know they check social media, so maybe it has something to do with that.
You think it's the amount of fucks I say?
Probably. One too many fucks, baby.
It's the amount of fucks I gave.
And I know Remy's been saying it, because it's when you say it and when he says it.
Frog.
No, it sounds like fox when you say it. I've been like on Friend lately because, I mean, we do swear occasionally, but I've been going, don't say it in front of him because he's such a sponge right now. He's going to start to say it. We'll just ignore it. But yeah, maybe it's that. I mean, he didn't swear during his interview.
I was walking with the landscaper in the house, speaking Spanish. And we were looking at something. And I said like, puta madre. And he said, puta madre. And the landscaper just started laughing. And I was like, don't laugh. Mm-hmm. And he just keeps saying puta madre throughout all tour. I wasn't proud about it.
Tell our audience what that means.
Well, like, I don't know. It all depends the context.
Then the context you were saying it, what did it mean?
Like something that went wrong, like something that needed fixing that we weren't expecting. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, fucking shit.
That's what it means?
Like, kind of. Puta madre in the men's is mom. But the things that in Spanish, in Mexico in particular, we throw our mothers in the mix of a cussing. Or not ours, yours.
Like chinga tu madre.
Yeah.
Which means go fuck your mother. And this seems really disrespectful coming from a culture that like idolizes their mothers, you know? And so that's interesting. That
We're very polarizing. As a
yeah, I
community.
know. But that's what's funny to me is that it's like the mother in the Mexico.
Well, we know how to dig, you know?
But if you said chinga tu madre in front of your mother when you were a child, you would have never done that.
No.
She would have beat you.
So I did. And she literally washed my mouth with soap.
Did it work?
No, but it tastes horrible. To the day I have, because like it got in my teeth, you know?
Ugh.
My mother was like, she seems like a sweetheart.
No, yeah, your mom seems like a sweetheart, but there's no doubt in my mind that your mom and dad took that stuff really seriously.
Oh, my dad was a different animal.
Yeah.
But my mom, she seemed like the common. She had to be a Gestapo agent back in the day, because she's really good at punish you in front of people without other people knowing.
Yeah, like squeezing you with her nails real tight.
Like in your shoulder, like she used
Yeah.
to go like here. And
Yeah,
go,
I believe you without you
grab
showing
you
me.
like out of the sideburn
Yeah.
and just like holding you, but like really like sweet. Like it looks like a sweet gesture.
I don't need the sampling of that. I'm good. I believe you.
Oh no, just to, you know.
Save it for when I've been bad or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I thought you'd be more of a disciplinarian with Remy too, but you're the weak link. You're the softie.
So
I swear, Remy, he could be like, what did you do about it when Remy hit you in the face? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm thinking through it, because sometimes I want to hit him back in the face and I can't wait for a little kid. The other night, for instance, he's been hitting and he hit, luckily it's our best friends. They're used to it. The little girls fight, but Remy like literally hit one of them. We heard the little girl crying. We asked him, did you hit her? Did you hit Camilla? Yes. He was honest, at least. Why did you hit her? Which he can't really, you're just kind of going through the motions. Why did you hit her? She was okay. It wasn't anything super severe, thankfully. But I know this sounds crazy, y'all. I'm looking forward to the time that going back to school, we totally derailed that conversation that I was talking about school when you started talking about the landscaper. But it's like, I am looking forward to this school that we have found for him to go to. We'll circle back to that. But it's like, I'm looking forward to like him. I even said like Camilla can hit him back, you know, because they said she might. And I'm like, good. Like he's going to hit the wrong kid. And I know this happens with a lot of kids and siblings, but someone's going to hit him back and he's not going to like it, you know? And that's kind of the only way I feel like socially they learn.
Yeah, I don't know. I think he's learning little by little, but he is also two. So there is many things that I can discipline that he's just going to brush off because he is two. So I try to stay on his level. Like
So what do you do when he hits?
I hold his hand.
Yeah.
And reprimand.
Verbally.
Yes, verbally.
Yeah. No, it's not a quiz. I'm just asking you to share.
Sometimes I do slap his hand.
Yeah.
Like sometimes I do slap his hand. Obviously not hard.
He hit me so hard in the face one day. Let's just be honest about it. I kind of like whacked him back in the same spot he hit me, but I didn't do it hard enough. And he just kind of looked at me and laughed like he thought we were playing a game. And so I was like, okay, that approach I don't feel good about anyway. That's not going to work. And, or, you know, when they kick the shit out of you when you're changing the diaper and they can't, and you just like, I don't even have long nails anymore, but sometimes I would kind of like grab his leg so he knows like, I mean business, like your mom status. And he'd kind of, I don't know. Sometimes that would work. But the other day, it was one of those parenting moments that you feel a lot more pressure when you're in public and something happens and everyone turns, you know, we're at the playground. And there's a boy that I subsequently learned was like 18 months old. So obviously a bit younger than Remy. He was also small. He was with his grandmother. She was dressed exquisitely. Feel like she might have had a Chanel jacket on at the playground, like post-church Sunday status, you know, and I'm going, oh man. So I start talking to the little boy. He's holding a dump truck, a yellow one, the same toy that Remy has at home. And all I'm doing is saying hi. They're both about to get on the swings. Remy just walks up to the little boy that I'm talking to and slaps him in the face. Not super duper hard, luckily, but just kind of like brushes the front of his face. Everyone in the park, I swear, it just turned into this like, oh gosh, what's she gonna do? Felt like it was this moment of like Jeopardy.
You hear like the
Jeopardy
wow
music
West.
played. No, for me it was like, oh God, how am I gonna handle this? How am I gonna handle this? Because especially after my viral nearing 60 million view video and still climbing, people are like, there's no right way, right? You know, I'm not, corporal punishment's still not my thing.
You think you're famous or infamous with that video?
Both. I don't know. And so anyway, I grabbed Remy. I am so sorry. I'm really sorry about that, Remy. And I got down on his level and I looked at him because I didn't even know if I was handling it the right way. Everyone's paying attention. I was like, did you just hit him? Do you want to say sorry? Why did you hit him? And he was like, I want to hold the truck. So it was very obvious that he was jealous. I was giving another child attention. He wanted to hold the truck. I go, well, that's his truck and you have one at home. Can you say sorry? Sorry. He kind of said sorry. The grandma, luckily, she was waiting on me to handle it, but she was so cool about it. She goes, I raised 5 kids. I know how this goes. It's fine. The little boy was crying, but then he was okay. It was really uncomfortable, these parenting moments that now I realize, oh my gosh, every time we're somewhere, little kid stole his dinosaur yesterday. It's like you want to meddle a little bit. You want to tell another child whose mom is just, I recognize how many parents are not in the moment. And I don't want to be on a soapbox about it because I've definitely been guilty of this too. But I think part of Fran and I realized, when you're at the playground and park, I was at a gym yesterday with him. Y'all, every single mom and nanny was on their phone like this. And look, I get taking a phone call. I get, we're all guilty of it. Fine. You called me, I'm on my phone. But seeing that made me acutely aware. Oh my gosh, y'all, we have to be better. We all have to be better. We have to be more present. And it's so hard, isn't it? Because we're addicted to our phones and it's so not interesting sometimes what our children are doing. They're just sitting there and they're safe and they're having fun and they're on their own. But I realize how kids constantly look for your eye contact. I noticed it. So I decided to put my phone in my pocket and really be present. And other than our phone call, I'm looking around going, oh my God, all these moms or nannies or whoever, one mom's out, just sitting out, not even in the same room, on her computer. And, I'm not trying to be judgmental about it. I'm just trying to say as mothers, with this short period of time, we have these children looking to us, we have to be better. We have to be more present. One kid's, ramming into Remy. One kid's stealing his dinosaur. The mother's not mothering, and I'm following him around. I'll let him do his thing, but I'm still there, I'm next to him. I'm not just sitting on a bench on my phone. And it made me feel so bad because some of these kids were really acting up. And one of them's really big, running his truck into Remy, but there's no one there to tell him otherwise, And I just thought, and I'm not saying I'm any better. It actually made me go, I definitely need to be present. Fran and I talk about this a lot. They say that it's so critical that your child sees your eyes because they look for you, even if they're doing their own thing. They want to see that you're there. They want to see that you're paying attention to them. Otherwise, they do start with behavioral stuff. They do start acting out because they'll get your attention that way. And
it's really clear for Remy that is the case. It's really clear that he, like everybody else in a human nature, attention. And he likes to make sure he has a one-on-one. Mm-hmm. And if he doesn't, he's going to make sure he gets that attention. And
they know sometimes by hitting or by doing other things, not that that's always why he's hitting me. I think there's a lot of emotion there. But yeah, that if they have your attention, they're less likely to do things to seek your attention, right?
Yeah, because you're on them.
Well, we have some exciting news for you. We're going to take a quick break and hear from some of the sponsors of the Fitish podcast, and we will tell you our big announcement next. This show is sponsored by BetterHelp, and goodness, y'all, therapy is just such a mandatory life experience. We all deal with different life stressors, some big and some small. And I think therapy's always had this connotation, at least in my opinion, that you have to be going through some major trauma in life to even seek therapy. And that just couldn't be further from the truth. Just for instance, Fran and I making this big life decision to move abroad for a while and try out something new. It can be very stressful in different ways, and we're going through different emotions. And seeking a licensed therapist kind of advice and recommendations for how to handle your day-to-day anxiety. Maybe it's about parenting. Maybe it's about just in terms of where you're at in your life with your career. Sometimes friends are great, but friends aren't experts. BetterHelp offers experts. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. Again, it's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, suited to your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time at no additional charge if you feel it's not the right fit. Get it off your chest with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Fitish today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Fitish. Welcome back to the show. We were spending our little break actually talking about
How we manage.
how we manage the bullies. It's so interesting, isn't it? Parenting, so many dilemmas. But we do have some exciting news to talk about. And I think it kind of goes back to what you were saying. What is meant for you will come, or whatever you believe in.
It is crazy. Like that is so. The mantra of my mother is, if things are meant to be, they're gonna get together. And they're going to be easy. I'm not saying that you're not going to have to work hard for what you want, but it's not going to be something that you feel that it's an uphill battle.
Yeah, just to obtain. Yeah, and it's weird, isn't it? And I tried to make the analogy to Francisco the other day that a girlfriend had told me that years ago about dating. When I was just kind of dating guys, and it was just always such a struggle sometimes just to hang out, right? Like that playing a mind game, or wouldn't call back, or would keep you on the hook. And when I first met Fran, of course, y'all see relationships take work, especially after years together. I think, it does. The grass is greener where you water it. I still believe in that. But in the beginning, it was easy. He called. He was there. He wanted to hang out again. I was like, we wanted to spend time together. It was. We weren't playing a lot of games. We were just like doing it naturally, hanging out. And this process has been really similar to that. Almost in a way, it feels a little scary, to be quite honest. And so we hadn't shared anything with y'all yet, but a few weeks ago, we were getting the house ready to get some photos taken and put it on the market. And you had an agent, that you knew already that had a couple that they were like dying to get in the house and see it. And it wasn't ready yet. We were still just kind of touching things up and cleaning, and purging and doing all of that. It just wasn't show ready. And we went ahead one night and let them in the week before we were going to take some photos and put it on the market, and let them in to see it. Like, hey, it's not ready. That's fine. We've been looking. And they offered us an amount of money that we felt comfortable. We were like, maybe we could get more, but this is good for us. And we took it.
I think we weren't greedy in the fact that we wanted an easy transaction, and I know the agent very well. We work together, and he knows his clients, and it seems that it's, a really nice couple that really wants the house. So we decided to go for it, and we're pending.
Yeah. So I think we sold our house without putting it on the market. We're really excited.
Yes.
And hopefully, I mean, it's hard to talk about before the deal's done, but flights are booked. The road trip of driving the cars is, tentatively scheduled, bookish. Yeah. And here we go. So yeah. And obviously, if it falls through, we just have to roll with it and put it on the market, and it'll be fine. But I realized once we were getting it ready to put on the market, and I think it gave Fran a lot of perspective too, right? As like always being a part of the deal, where it's like, oh yeah, homeowner with 5 kids. Yeah, do an open house. We'll get a lot of competitive, offers. People will go against each other. It'll be great. Yes, very true. But keeping that house clean, living in it, especially with a kid and a dog, and, just us working. And I was already considering, we're going to have to get a hotel for 3 or 4 days so we can do 12 showings a day. And you do it because you want to get max value. But yeah, I think Fran and I that's where we had that back and forth discussion for a few hours of like, okay, what amount of money, how much more could we get if we let people get competitive on the listing with it? And is it worth the hotel stay and the keeping it super clean and getting out of the house for 5 days and on and on and on? And we just decided no. I told Fran from the jump, I don't want to be greedy. I just want this to be smooth. And here we are. So we'll let you know. It'll be really good content if it changes and falls through and we have to do it again. But it seems good with a great realtor on our end, huh?
Yeah. So I've done this process, as I mentioned before, many times. But you gain so much sympathy for the seller. And I mostly represent sellers. of like when an inspector calls us like, hey, I have a scheduled inspection for 10 a.m. the next day, and it's really easy to pick up the phone. It's like, hey, we need to let the inspector in at 10 a.m. And you kind of know what entails to do that, or what entails for people to get out of their house. But you gain a lot of sympathy when it's your case. And
yeah, because, people are going to go through drawers and stuff. I didn't really do that when I looked at other houses. I would just walk in, look at the house. I'm not opening up drawers, but people do that, which is so creepy. And not every drawer's ready to go right now. And I knew it was going to be a lot of work because I was going to feel that sense of pressure to get it together. I mean, we still had some trash in the back, some bulk trash we hadn't taken off. So anyway, I'm just like so happy. And I'm going, this is all going smoothly. You're kind of like, waiting on the other shoe to drop, as they say. But, going back to the school thing we talked about, when we talk about things lining up, putting an offer on a place that's for sale. It wasn't even for rent down there, it being accepted, and we're going to live there, for a bit. And then all the school stuff here kind of being weird, and that response is just so strange to me. Why wouldn't you just say, hey, unfortunately you didn't get in? Like, I had to reach out and ask, which is just so bothersome and felt so unprofessional. And then, reaching
especially
out
when all these people take deposits, unrefundable deposits.
Yeah, they take, $1,000, like non-refundable deposit, or hundreds of dollars, whatever it is. So, I didn't want to over apply to schools because that is so expensive and weird that you're not going to give the money back. And these schools make so much money. Like, let's not even go there. Some of these private Montessori style schools are, just super expensive that we were going, do we even, can we afford this? Or do we even want to make the sacrifices to afford this? And, I still believe that these schools are great. However, we found more school options than I thought down where we're moving. And one of them is a similar teaching style that we've been very interested in. And they were just so great about it. I mean, yeah, they still bring you in for a family interview, but the school year goes till end of July. It's very different school year. So Remy could get into school, and it's every day from 9 to 2, 9 to 3, all these schools down there. And it's like a quarter of the cost. So that's another, not everything's driven by money, but isn't it nice to know you can still get like really good quality work and childcare and things of that nature? And I'm excited because I've wanted him to get into a good school. So I think it'll be really good for him. Of course, scary. I don't know if we've talked about that, the first time you drop your kid off at daycare or school, I'm sure it's just a really emotional experience. And so now for me to be in a foreign country doing it for the first time, Fran and I feel like I'm going to sit outside all day, watching him, because it's so scary to think about dropping him off at school.
I already applied for a part-time job there.
And I know if I'm feeling this way, y'all know Fran's feeling even more this way, because I always think that just the one time we dropped him off at a really cute school here in town that we really liked, we dropped him off for an hour and a half for like an observation day. And we really actually liked the school.
And that mofo didn't even look back.
He didn't look back. He was gone. And we spent an hour and a half just kind of sitting in the parking lot. We got coffee. We didn't know what else to do. And just in case he cried and we had to come get him, they said like at one point he was kind of like, wait, I don't know anyone here, but that they would move him on to another activity and he was fine. So no, I think Remy will be fine. It's more us, right? And so to think about, oh my gosh, we're going to be in a foreign country and, dropping him off for school, but he's going to thrive. He needs it.
Crying in Highland Park Village and crying in the beach, it's a complete different type of crying,
What? Why? What do you mean?
But like dropping your kid off and having to go sit down in Dallas anywhere.
Yeah.
Or having to sit down on the beach and grab a margarita while you're doing
that's what Brad and I keep saying. It's like, hey, we're gonna have hard days. We're gonna struggle. I keep joking. I don't know if I've made this joke to y'all on the podcast, but we got that car, the Bronco, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna love it for like a week. And the Costco's an hour away and a Walmart's an hour away. And so, everyone kind of says they do a run like once a week probably. And there's obviously other stores in town, but from what I've understood is that a lot of those mercados and stores, you can get produce there real fresh from the farmers, but everything else, they've, batteries, especially things of that nature, toiletries, they have just purchased at Costco, right? And then they're selling it for like bumped up a little bit more. So yeah, in an emergency, you're going to buy it. But otherwise, you try to do the Costco. And I keep telling some of my girlfriends here that please, if I call you going forward, please answer, because in that moment, it very likely means I'm like, needing a pep talk. Like I'm bumping along to Costco an hour away for the third time in the same week because I forgot some shit. And I'm like, I love it here.
Just do your better help.
I really love it here. Yeah. I have a call.
Don't subject your friends for that.
Yeah, I'll ask BetterHelp. I'll let y'all know if they support people with their decisions to move abroad and change their life.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. All right. You have any other exciting news for the week?
Yeah, so packing, it's exciting news.
It is?
I am
Have you started?
No. So that is exciting that we're gonna start. And just getting everything. Like I'm trying to make sure that I work this week on how my logistics are gonna be with every aspect of my business in Texas.
Yeah.
And just figuring that out, it's going to be the goal of this week.
We're working really hard to say we don't know where we're going to be, not necessarily tomorrow, but in a year. And I think, we only were in this home for a year and a half. And I keep reminding myself of that when I have these moments of doubt, because I say, look, we make a lot of life decisions, thinking that we're going to be in a certain situation a lot longer than we are. But the beauty of humanity is we are really malleable. We can pivot. We can figure it out. And we're not saying that this is like a forever move for us. Let's just frame it as kind of an adventure. It's going to be quite the adventure. And hopefully we grow, personally together as a family and from a work and business perspective as well. That's kind of the ultimate goal for us. Figure out where we want to land, what else we want out of our lives. And, but yeah, if you had told me when we were buying that home that we'd only be there a year and a half, I would have been like, whoa, wait a second. But we didn't know what we didn't know until we got in it, and our life plans have kind of changed. And so I'm trying to look at it that way, that you don't have to know where you're going to be for the next 5 or 15 years necessarily. So I think as long as we look at it and go, okay, I think we're going to do this for, 6 months, 12 months, whatever it is. That's kind of the plan right now, and make the most of it. So we'll see. I don't know who's going to struggle the most with this. I definitely don't think it's going to be Remy.
I don't think so either.
We're hopeful that Wheezy makes it down. She's been peeing blood everywhere, and we can't decide, they can't figure out, is it a cancerous tumor or
Was
a UTI?
that a mascara alert situation? No. Or people don't cry for that stuff?
People cry for that stuff, but I don't think that's a mascara alert. I've talked openly about Wheezy's declining health. This will probably be her final resting place. We hope she makes it. But yeah, she's having some issues right now. So no, I sound matter of fact about it, but when it comes to owning pets and having dogs, I will never keep them alive like a lot longer than they need to be if they're suffering and struggling. And I'm not spending $5,000 to do exploratory cancer finding tumor surgery to just see if she has cancer. Like, get out of here with that. What a racket. She's 12. I don't have that kind of money to spend just to see if she has cancer, to then maybe remove a tumor that might prolong her life another 6 months. That's insanity. No. So anyway, we'll see. And hopefully she makes it and enjoys the beach for a bit, because it is a really dog-friendly place. But yeah, flights are booked. Me, Wheezy, she has a ticket. My mom, Remy, are going to fly down in just a week from now. And Fran is driving with a longtime friend. And hopefully they make that, 33-hour drive, okay? And then we're all going to meet up in our new home abroad, and and then we'll be podcasting from there every week.
Was on the way.
Las Vegas is not on the way, but that sounds fun for y'all. Good luck. 5 days without Remy is what you're planning on.
He's missing that flight. He's coming with us.
No, don't do that. I've told Fran that drive would be miserable for him. That long of a drive, maybe when he gets a little bit older and can appreciate and understand sitting in the car that long.
Yeah.
But being strapped in a car seat for 33 hours.
He's a resilient one. He likes it.
Well, he has a non-refundable one-way, which is crazy, isn't it? To book a one-way flight somewhere. I mean, I've done that before when I've been stranded and needed a one-way flight home, but I've never bought a one-way flight moving somewhere in that way. Yeah, really crazy. So, well, I'm sure we'll have a lot to catch you up on next week, and we'll continue doing the podcast. So don't worry about that. With a lot of different content, I'm sure, and we'll see you next week. Bye.